Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with a reaction for you guys. I am a day late on this, but I don't care. I want to check it out here. This is Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 official trailer that dropped yesterday, and I already know that they announced it for sometime in April. This is releasing. I was surprised because Part 1 literally just came out of Crisis like last month in January. I was expecting this around summertime, then Part 3 wrapping up the Tomorrowverse, wrapping up this whole thing at the end of the year, but I don't know what's going to happen with Part 3, but like this is coming out pretty damn soon of only a few months after Part 1. Now, Part 1 of Crisis, I actually enjoyed it. I did. Now, there are still issues with the movie, but I overall enjoyed it. And I was surprised because Tomorrowverse has been kind of, depending on the quality of the films. Some are good, decent. Obviously, there's some better than others and everything. Justice World before Crisis Part 1, that last one, Justice World, was terrible. Horrible. So, I was going into Part 1 of Crisis going, let's see what happens, and I actually ended up pretty enjoying it for the most part. Like I said, still issues. But let's dive into now. Let's check out those shows in Part 2, guys. Part 1 ended on a big cliffhanger, big like what the hell moment. And now let's dive in, just check out, see what they're going to do in Part 2. They've already released some footage of this.
Pirate, you've a role to play in the crisis to come.
Oh shit, okay. Dr. Fate.
I've got contact.
Red. Kara, your friends are in mortal peril, but there is something we can do.
Part 2.
Reporting unusual development from Earth 2.
I'm saying Batman Beyond. We know he's in this somehow.
And there was life. We've got about 1 million dino demons.
These attacks continue to come in all universes to each of their Earths.
Okay.
What we thought was an antimatter tsunami turned out to be an ongoing storm without any predictable pattern.
Oh, there's a pattern to it.
Universe lost.
You think you just happened to be in the neighborhood when your planet blew up?
What are you saying?
What have you done?
Oh my god.
I'm just broadcasting
All the
hate,
action.
fear, distrust.
You made a misery out of my adolescence.
Okay. Alright.
Shadows, not each other.
You're the only one who can save the universe.
How?
Fight back.
I was wrong about it all. All living things in all realities are
The
about
anti-monitor.
to die.
Yeah.
Welcome to hell.
Pretty much. Hell, yeah.
What have I done?
Ooh, yeah, I did see the cover. Yeah, I like how when they do trailers now, they market the fucking comics. That's what they should be doing. Okay, so before we get to the actual trailer itself, so let's see here. So we have the monitor, we have the Legion of Superheroes logo, Legion of Superheroes right next to Batgirl's cape. You see that on the image there. Of course, Batgirl's in the mix. Love that. Love that. Okay. We did see the tease of the anti-monitor, which was pretty interesting. They're not directly showing him. I guess we'll have to wait till the movie. Okay. Okay. I think the trailer looks pretty cool. There's a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of hard to comprehend what's happening. And that was I felt well, no, actually, I didn't feel the same way with Part 1's marketing, the trailer, at least for the main trailer, because they were getting right to the point. It feels like this, like, there's a lot of stuff happening in terms of action and everything. Like, I'm guessing we'll get more of a sense of what the movie is once we actually watch it. But they're highlighting a lot of action in this, because there was a fair amount of action in Part 1, but maybe more so like they were kind of building up to where Part 1 is more like setup and some big things happen in Part 2 where there's a lot of hectic and craziness and over the top. Of course, Batman Beyond is somehow involved in this somehow. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure this out because the way Part 1 ended, I'm like, okay, so all these characters, what the, okay, and then it ends, and I'm like, okay, and now here, so I'm curious of what, like, how we pick up from Part 1 now to Part 2. That's the question. But for me, it's like this. Even if they don't stick the landing after 2 and 3, at least they attempted at least a trilogy of films versus trying to put it into one film. Because as I've said before, whenever they've tried to cover big things, like when they covered Injustice a number of years ago, it wasn't part of the Tomorrowverse, but it was its own separate thing. When they tried to cover the Tomorrowverse, not Tomorrowverse, sorry, the Injustice story, but then they just did one movie, but they were planning on doing more potentially, but they really just did one main film. It didn't work. They were kind of rushing past certain things in that movie, and it's like, you shouldn't have done that. To me, it's like I felt like they could have done Injustice as a mini series, like a TV series, or like a mini series, 6-8 episodes, and cover a pretty decent arc of Injustice for animation for, you know, the Injustice storyline. For Crisis, it could work as a mini series, like a show that's like, you know, 30-ish minutes per episode or something, and do like a number of episodes, and you can cover a whole span of stuff. But I think the idea of at least doing a trilogy is smart, because you're not trying to cram it all in one movie, because I feel like that would be a disaster. It would definitely fall apart if they were to attempt one movie to cover Crisis and to wrap up the Tomorrowverse, which is in connection to the New 52 stuff. So it just wouldn't work. It would just feel ridiculous and just really, really rushed. So, yeah, I'm excited for part 2. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about the trailer. I'm curious to know your thoughts. What did you think of part 1 of Crisis on Infinite Earths? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You excited for part 2? Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.